Hey friends, so I started hardening off our cauliflower, our celery, and our mammoth rock cabbage. I only have room for two, so it'll probably be these two. These two over here don't look the greatest, but if I have room someplace, I'll keep them. I have 7 celeries, and I have 4 snowball cauliflower. So I started that, went outside in the flower box or flower bed next to the deck and just planted radishes and lettuce. And Jerry's been out here working on our raised bed. So right where he's at, he's bringing the level up for his trailer, and then that will be our new bed area here. Those are the irises that we had to move from in the corner from his mom. We're gonna get a white picket fence right here and then plant a whole bunch of zinnias and coneflowers and all that stuff. So, and then up there in our pergola, as you walk in, there is a nest that has baby robins in it. So, but we're supposed to get rain. I was hoping to get my cabbage planted and onions, but that didn't happen. I ran out of steam. My back is still, I gotta be careful. So, but 78 degrees out, and then tomorrow's going to be 59 the high. They're coming tomorrow to hook up our Kohler generator here. It could take up to 6 hours without any power. So we're assuming they'll get here at 9 a.m. and he'll leave the car out so that we can go someplace tomorrow if we need to. I do need to go someplace tomorrow because there's a new crochet along coming up May 11th, and I want to go buy some new yarn. I don't have 3 of anything really. So there are 5 colors in it, and it takes 3 of each color. So, but yeah. So I just thought I'd come out and say hey. Nice and cool up here. But anyways, I will let you go. Hey friends, happy Monday. Happy May 4th. Was the meme that goes around that says may the 4th be with you. The force. Oh, I'm tired, wore out a little bit. But it's a gorgeous day today. So today is the day that I lost my real dad 9 years ago. It just seems just like yesterday sometimes. So today was a good day just to be busy. So you would have saw a clip before this on the garden stuff and what Jerry's doing and everything. I've got zinnia seeds that I think I'm just going to direct sow out there, and because they probably should have been started before now. I don't know, maybe I can start some too. We'll see. But I got some zinnias, some coneflowers, in my flower box up front. I'd like to plant some of my straw flowers, and we got that when we went to Home and Garden. Is it Home and Garden? Farm and Home. Farm and Home. That pot that had daffodils in it. It has a poppy in it, and it has tulips in it. And hyacinths. I think that whole thing I will put someplace all together so that it can the spring ones that comes up right now will come up, and then the poppy will then come up afterwards. So I need to get that planted. My plan today was to get the strawberries planted and the cauliflower and the onions, but that didn't happen, like I said. Maybe it wasn't you I was talking to, but those irises that we got from his mom like 15-20 years ago, when we got them there was only like, I don't know, 3 or 4, and of course there's lots now, and they were compacted. So we looked up how to replant them, and so he pulled them apart, and I laid them out and everything, taking out all the dead grass and stuff like that. And then he came back behind me, because we ended up getting lots. We got lots, and we still have a big clump left that needs to be planted, but right now it's still encased in the soil all around it, so there's no roots sticking out of it or anything, so that should be okay right there. And I won't know how much more room I have until he gets done what he's doing. The whole idea was he has a trench that goes on the left side of it, then we'll go all the way in the front, and he'll put I don't know, decorative stones, and then it has a cap on the top of it. And then he got a yard of fill dirt, and it kind of slopes down, and that's where he always keeps his trailer. So he is building that up so it will kind of slope a little bit. Well, it won't slope, because he went and got 2 railroad ties, and he'll put those on the one side closest to the road. He'll have to probably dig a little trench for the one railroad tie, and then he'll fill that up so it's level through there, enough on that lower level so that he can get his trailer in there. And then behind that is our grapevines, and they're doing really well, so lots of little buds on it. So hopefully this year we'll get some more. We didn't get any grapes last year, so we planted them last year, so hopefully this year we'll start to get a little bit more. But we're training them to, you know, branch out this way on the wire, and they're about to the end of the post, so if they grow any longer, then we'll train them to go up the post on the side, then there's a wire up on top, and then have them go across there. So I put the cabbage and the onions outside, and I think tonight I will put them in the portable greenhouse. We're supposed to get some rain and stuff tonight. They should be okay out there, I'm hoping. But I'll see how they are. They've been out all afternoon. I've had to move the cabbage several times because it wasn't liking the direct sun, because y'all, that sun is hot when it's like 78 degrees out. And this is a little bit too warm for them. But no worries, because we're supposed to be below average through almost Memorial Weekend. Instead of being in the 60s, we're going to be in the 50s. So, which, you know, the cool crops will really like. So I started hardening off the celery and all that stuff, and tomorrow they'll go out on our front porch where there's shade and they can sit in a chair and not get all the wind and stuff. And they'll go out for 2 hours tomorrow. So, or they'll go in the portable greenhouse where they're more covered in case we have to leave. Yeah, it kind of stinks when you have to have your electricity off on purpose for like 6 hours. But I guess consumers has got to come in and they've got to unhook the box, and then they do what they need to do. And the inspector will be out. He was out today because he had it down for today, and he'll be out tomorrow. And he told Jerry that they'll get the majority of it done in the morning, so that what's left after he leaves is not a lot. So, you know, that's no internet, that's no TV, that's, you know, oh, I just wish tomorrow was like today. That would have been great. But I think what we will do tomorrow is we'll just see how we both feel in the morning. We can always, I told Jerry, I said, we'll just go out and maybe plant the garden, you know, when it gets a little warmer. Plant the cabbage that needs to go in, and then put the hoops over the raised bed, and then put the insect cloth over it to keep the cabbage moths and stuff off from it. And then we got potatoes that we can plant into 2 beds. And then I got 2 types of parsnips that I want to plant. And we got, shoot, I can't think what it is. I know one is American, it's I'd like a yellow, I think it said. The other one's darker. The darker one is supposed to taste between the cross between a potato and a carrot. The American is supposed to be super sweet and yellow looking, I guess. So, but I'll get those, and I got peas I'd like to plant, but I got to soak the peas, and what I'll do is when we go to bed tonight, I will put them in a jar of water and let them soak until we're ready to go outside. They say about 8 hours. It helps them germinate a little bit quicker, so I can get the peas in. And I haven't made up my mind about carrots. I like to do some carrots too. Oh, the onions, I gotta get the onions in. I think the onions, they're not as, I have a hard time, you know, doing onions. You see everybody who does onions, and if you buy them from someplace, I mean, they're really thick stalks and everything, and mine isn't even pencil thick yet. And I start them right when they say, and I start them the way they say, but I think next year there's a gentleman who starts them in individual cells, and he has really good luck with them. And some other gal in Michigan does the same thing. So I think next year I will try that. But I'm going to plant them in the bed along the front of the row, because that bed is 3 foot by 10 foot. And that one's going to, is it 10 foot? Yeah. And it's going to house our Ace 55 tomatoes and our Martino Roma tomatoes. And so what I'll do is I will put the onions in that 10-foot space, because I'm sure with what I got, it won't fill the whole space. And then the basil and the parsley, I think the basil and the parsley, and then the peppers and the tomatoes, I can start next Wednesday or Thursday to harden them off. And then, is that right? Let's see. Yeah. So, and then on the other side of the tomatoes, I'll put basil, you know, in there and all that stuff. So, we normally try to plant the whole garden Memorial weekend, but our grandson graduates Memorial weekend that Saturday night, so we will be heading down for that and participate in that. And then in his graduation open house, when he comes up here in the summer, his dad and stepmom will have another open house for all the family up here for him. So, but that just means I'm trying to time everything, so maybe I can get things in the garden, or I can get it so that the tomatoes and the peppers have been hardened off enough that they can set that 4 days that we are gone in the grow room shelves without lights on, because they won't need it once they've gotten hardened. And then when we get back on that Monday, that next Tuesday, we can go out and finish planting that. Because I won't start my green beans, I don't think, until the last weekend of May, by June 1st, which would be green beans and the butterscotch butter. It's a mini butternut squash. They literally get this big. And I gotta think what else I got. Green beans is the major thing. Oh, the celery we will plant before we leave, along with the cauliflower and stuff like that. Last year my celery didn't do it so well before it went outside, and I only had, well, we had 5 plants, and then we got a freeze and we covered them, and 4 of them survived. And then I cut them way too soon. So this year I grew celery again, and all 7 came up, and I do have room for 7 throughout the garden. And what I'll do is, when it's time to harvest them, I'll start taking them on the outside edge, the you know, the bigger stalks. And then when it's time, if they're still out there, then I'll take what I can, and I think I can freeze them, chop them up to put in for soups and stuff like that. So, but I haven't tried growing, well, I tried growing snowball cauliflower last year, but it was late in the season and it was too hot, and of course they didn't work. And the cabbage, the same thing. They didn't get planted out until Memorial Weekend, because I have a friend who says she doesn't plant anything, her peas, anything like that, until Memorial Weekend. And I'm thinking, you know, it gets too hot by then. Those are cool crops. And so I'm hoping by getting them in, you know, a couple weeks earlier, it will help, so by July, you know, they'll be ready. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with all that stuff, but hopefully they will form heads and everything will be good. You know, you never know. You do all this planning and reading and trying to take care of it, and that's why I cover it with an insect cloth, so that it keeps, because they don't need to be pollinated, so it keeps those, you know, white moth butterflies and some other insects that like them, you know, so that you can get something decent. And by the time that it, you know, hopefully the tomatoes come on and everything, this year the Martinos are supposed to come on, I think, once, and they just come on all at once, and so that you get, I won't know until I get them, but some of them are kind of struggling right now. So I've been fertilizing them, I've been giving them water. They look a little dry, and it's just like, I think that, you know, I water them from the bottom up, but you know, everything's just so tricky. And I probably could up pot them to a 5-inch pot. Right now they're in almost a 4-inch pot, but if they're going to go outside starting next week, no, not next week, I don't know, I'll have to see, because I only have so much room on my grow light station, and my peppers are there and my tomatoes are there, and we already took a shelf out, and they have all grown now within like this much of the grow light. They all probably should be up potted to a 5-inch pot. It's just that I don't have the lights or the space for them, so I'm babying them. So, but I check them to see. I don't see hardly any roots coming out, so I know they're not getting root bound. But I could repot, you know, and we'll just deal with it, I guess. So, but just sitting here with my Crystal Light Pink Lemonade. I know I wasn't on last Friday. The day got away from me, and by the time I remembered, it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Our grandson Landon had a double header for baseball that was live streamed, and we were watching that, and then it dawned on me during his game that I didn't record anything that day. So I thought, well, I'll do it Saturday, but I didn't do it Saturday or Sunday. There is a crochet along coming up May 11th, and it's supposed to be a nice, easy one that's just like single crochets, double crochets, and it's a square. And it's made to be a relaxing one. It's like the clues are released every 2 to 3 days. And I probably could find something, make a, you know, scrapping like I did before. But I just think this time I want to treat myself and go buy some new yarn and make that up. And I've been working on my English paper piecing. I think clue 5 will come out next Sunday. This is week 2, but I could be wrong. She says every 3 weeks, and I never know how that goes, because Sunday would have been week 2, and then this coming Sunday will be week 3, so I'm assuming that that will be the next clue. So I only have 2 more strips to sew on it, and then that clue will be done. And that seems to be like sometimes my evening thing I do, or the first thing in the morning. So I don't know. And if you hear that pounding, tapping, that's Jerry out there with the tamper, because he's putting like pea stone down, and he's got to take the tamper, which is a flat metal square with a bar, and you tap it so that it makes it pretty hard. So Sunday he unthawed when we were going to have Easter with the kids, and we didn't hear anything, and so he went and he bought a Smithfield, I don't know, little ham. I mean, it was a little ham, but for us it's going to give us 3 meals. He baked it yesterday, and we had mashed potatoes, and then I had made some homemade whole wheat freshly milled flour rolls, and we had corn that we had frozen the year before, and that was really good. So we had that yesterday, and I think he's coming in to take a break. And so today I'm not for sure about supper, but we'll see. But it's warm out there, isn't it, dear?
Nice.
It is nice, but that sun is really warm, isn't it?
That breeze feels good.
It sure does. It would be really bad without that breeze. You could come out here. I'm almost done. So I could hear you tapping.
Huh?
I said I could hear you tapping. Okay. So anyways, so here I am on Monday, and I think I'm gonna let you guys go. He went out in the sunroom to relax and everything, and yeah. So it's just been a busy, Friday was busy, and then Saturday, Sunday was a nice relaxing day. He went, where'd he go? He was gone for most of the day on Saturday, doing whatever he does. And then Sunday we were home, and then today he's been gone a lot too. He's been going back and forth to, oh, I know, he went Saturday to get the decorative stone and everything, because the sale was Saturday and Sunday. So he did that. And then today he's done nothing but running to go get, you know, the little pea stone, and then to get filter, and then to get railroad ties, and then to get a tamper, and you name it. You know, he's been gone and I've been here, so. But anyways, guys, that's all there is today. Just me chit-chatting and a little bit about the garden. So, I can't believe that it's already May 4th. And as quickly as April went. Sorry. Tree pollen's very high. My throat, I've been out in it. So, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday. I'll do my darndest to be better at this, but this time of year, you know, I get busy too, and I forget, and it's like, you know, the house needs to be picked up right now, but we're too busy outside, and so, and I don't know what we'll be doing tomorrow, if we'll be planting the garden or not. So, but anyways, I'll try to come on tomorrow too, and I will take more pictures of what I'm working on and stuff like that, so you can see that. And until we can meet again, see you soon, my friends.